Welcome back to Comic Talk. I'm Nick Arrow,
I'm Josh Gold.
and we are Omega Level.
Omega level, Omega level, Omega level.
Omega Level.
Boom. And this week in Comic Talk, I think we have some big changes happening.
And I'm that big change. I'm Stephen L. and welcome to Omega Level. Omega Level.
Omega level.
Omega Level.
Omega level.
What is going on? Where's Josh? What happened?
It's like you didn't watch the promotional videos. I'm here to fix the podcast, so my first move was to get rid of the dead weight, Josh.
Wow. Okay. I don't understand. I didn't even know you were coming.
You don't have to understand, just follow my lead. And to celebrate my arrival at Omega Level, I'm going to be doing a personal giveaway for a $100 gift certificate for Layla Jones at Ink or Die Studios, so make sure you stick around for that.
Wow, that's pretty freaking awesome, actually. I gotta give it up for that. That's really cool. That's cool.
Yeah, it's not like you've ever done anything like that.
Wow. All right. I mean, I did one before. I guess you didn't know that, did you?
I don't think you had enough viewers for that.
And you're bringing all the viewers with you?
Stick around, Jeff.
So this week we're talking about Heroes in Crisis. This series, dude, it's pretty incredible for me, actually. I heard a lot of people before I started reading it talking about how like it just wasn't that good when it was like 2 or 3 issues have been released, and there was like a bunch of chatter on the streets about how like they're just like it's pretty underwhelming. And if you just take the first 3 issues and reading the first 3 issues, I don't see how people got that. I think it's pretty good from the jump.
I myself do like somewhat have mixed feelings about it, but
Really?
it's mostly positive.
Yeah.
This latest issue, issue 5, which came out
It came out
last Wednesday because it's coming out later.
Yeah.
It's probably the strongest issue so far.
No, absolutely, dude. Absolutely. The issue 5 was incredible, and it's only going to go 9 issues. So they're definitely getting to the point now. Like with issue 5, they're about to start the end game.
Yeah,
Like the ending is starting.
This recent issue was probably the fastest paced one they had so far.
Absolutely. So much happened in it. And, dude, the Superman speech was incredible.
Yes.
Heroes in Crisis starts off with
A diner scene.
a diner scene with Booster Gold just sitting in a diner. And he's, like, about to get lunch or whatnot. It's very, like, ominous, and you don't know what the hell's going on at all. And then Harley Quinn shows up out of nowhere.
Is this a hero? Is this a villain? He's like, it's a villain.
Yeah, it's a villain. She comes in, and they have, like, a little conversation. And then they leave the diner and get in this freaking huge fight.
But before that, one of the best reveals so far, Harley Quinn hates pudding.
Oh yeah, dude, that was really funny. That's definitely a knock on Joker, like on their relationship, which I like, because they need to separate themselves from that as much as humanly possible.
Yeah, I thought it was her maybe little subtle way of saying that she has always hated Joker, but who knows?
Yeah, I like that. If that's what they were intending to do, I really like that.
But pretty big action fight with Booster Gold and Harley Quinn. Who knows how she's holding her own against him?
Right, yeah. Booster's definitely like, he's out of sorts. He doesn't really know what's going on. You can tell something's off with him, because in a straight up hand-to-hand fight, there's no way that Harley should beat Booster, who has like gadgets and like powers and stuff. Like she's just a human
He's got
being.
shields from the future.
Yeah, from the future. And they even reference that later on. Wonder Woman asks
24th
like,
century.
yeah, she
tech or
asks
something
like,
like that.
what happened to your Brainiac shield? And he goes, I don't know, I guess it just didn't work.
I believe Batgirl did some sort of like antivirus stuff for the Batcomputer for 24th century tech.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
So yeah, that was that's definitely different. Harley and Booster, like that's not 2 characters you think would be on the page together.
No, yeah, usually 2 people that are used for different kinds of comedic
Absolutely.
purposes, basically used as the leads.
Yeah.
Well, also, like, it's a mystery, like, who's the killer?
Yeah,
Is
so
it
the
Booster or Harley? I don't think it's either one of them.
I don't either.
I used to think it might have actually been, like, the Sanctuary computer itself, because, like, those confessional videos were kind of, like, ominous and, you know, comic book logic. I thought it would probably take all their negative feelings and somehow turn evil or something whack like that.
Exactly. Yeah, because it keeps listening to all this like horrible stuff, so it just turns bad. Like, oh, the solution is to kill them all.
Yes.
In their suffering.
Yes, they are depressed. I'm going to end it permanently.
So yeah, the entire setup and premise for this is that the Trinity, Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, have set up this place called Sanctuary, which is essentially like a therapy/rehab center for superheroes, like where they can go and they can talk about like their feelings and talk about all the bad stuff that's happened to them. 'Cause, I mean, think about it. Superheroes are out there fighting all these awful people and these terrible villains, doing all this bad stuff, killing people sometimes, themselves dying, watching loved ones die.
Sustaining permanent scars.
Yes, sustaining permanent scars, physically, like emotionally and mentally. They have really like difficult jobs and lives, you know what I mean? So it would make sense that some of them are depressed or that they have like mental issues and they need to talk about it, you know, like that.
Especially Batman.
Yeah, especially Batman. Like it makes sense. So like them doing this is actually really intelligent. I thought like that was really cool. It's almost like a little meta and breaking the fourth wall. It's like, yeah, we know they got problems too, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And it's cool to see a huge comic book publisher like Marvel or DC like do a series that is so heavily talking about mental health issues. You don't really get that in comics, other than like Harley, and it makes sense that she's front and center considering she's like the comic book poster child for mental health problems.
You see Batman's mental health problems rise
Pretty often, yeah. You
yes,
see his
fairly
often,
often.
but they don't necessarily talk about it like that. You know what I mean?
I've adopted a lot of orphans, and I've gotten a lot of them killed. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of confessionals as it goes through of like all these different heroes. And dude, my favorite one I know, I'm pretty sure it was your favorite one too, was Black Canaries.
Yes.
Where she's just sitting there for 2 panels looking, and she goes, this, and then it's 6 panels of emptiness because she got up and walked out.
Artistic genius. I think my favorite confessional is the Protector.
The Protector.
I changed that now after issue 5 to the Protector.
Protector is good.
He's basically just the incarnation or just like the epitome of dare.
Yeah. It's like kept telling everyone don't do drugs or else all the whole time while I was doing drugs. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, it kind of relates back to Arsenal too, because apparently he's got severe addictions from all like his pain medications and stuff.
I didn't know that.
No,
that was
that was
definitely a
a-
reveal.
Mm-hmm.
And then Batgirls was really cool when she's just sitting there and she's slowly like undoing her belt and like she gets up and she shows her the bullet wound in the front and then the bullet wound in the back. She's like here and here. And that's just the entire confessional. I was like, oh, that's deep, man. That's rough. My favorite one, my favorite one happened in 5. It was at the very end with Harley's. That one was awesome. But before that one, I really liked Ivy's. That one was really funny. Ivy's sitting there like, I don't really know why I'm here. I'm pretty much a villain. Like, I don't get along with these people at all. And then Harley pops in. And it's just Harley messing with her the entire time. Boop, boop.
Actually, I'm going to change mine for a second time. It's Commander Steele's.
Dude, Commander Steele's is really funny,
It
too.
was funny and pretty morbid.
It's darkly funny.
Like, I've died. I've come back. I've died again.
I've come back. I don't know if it's going to stick.
Someone used my detached leg to beat someone else with.
He said Supergirl did.
Yeah. I don't know how long I'm going to stay alive. Hopefully it's for a long time.
He's like, I don't know if this
It's
one will
probably not going to be for a long
Yeah,
time.
I don't know if this one will
Get out of the
stick.
game.
Dude, it's time to retire. You've died 3 times and been brought back to life. It's over. You're good.
I thought all these people forgot when they died.
Yeah, apparently
Except for maybe Superman.
Commander Steel definitely doesn't.
And however he died again, he had Joker's like little chattering teeth or something like stuck in his throat. I think
Yeah.
Batman found those. So that hints at like Harley Quinn doing it, but yet again, I'm fairly confident it's not her because how could she?
Right, yeah.
And
She's
I'm pretty sure it's not Booster. Well, it could be Booster. He seems definitely like out of his mind in this.
It could be Harley, honestly. She overpowers, outsmarts, and defeats the Trinity in one fell swoop, which was pretty nice. Therefore, proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Harley Quinn is the most powerful DC hero there is.
And also proving without a shadow of a doubt that Batman is a dirty liar.
Yeah, dude, that was awesome.
Forever and always.
Right before that scene happens, Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman are having like a conversation, and Wonder Woman or Superman says something to Batman about having like kryptonite on him or something to stop Superman. He's like, I would never carry that
This
on
was
me.
brought up because they're talking about how the Sanctuary files are getting leaked, and he's just like, there should be no way that this is happening. It doesn't record or save anything. It deletes at the end of every session. They're like, okay, Batman, just go ahead and tell us the truth. You're using this for your back computer, so that way, just in case any of us turn, you can use it against us. He's just like, no.
For your contingencies.
Oh, yeah, and they're like, yeah, I bet you've got kryptonite in your belt. He's like, actually, I don't.
Her and Booster had the big fight. When he first sees her, she's like on the steps, and she's got her hammer, and it's all bloody.
Standing over Wally West
And
and,
she-
Arsenal.
Yeah, and she's standing over them, and like her hammer is bloody, and he shows up and is like, "What's going on?" And she's
She
like,
asked him, how's your first day going?
Yeah,
He's
how's
like,
your first day
"Well,
going?" Yeah.
Everybody's dead.
Yeah, and she says that like he killed them all, but he says she did. Now, I don't think either one of them actually think they saw the other one did it. That's just Booster came up on her over dead body. She thinks, oh, Harley did all this. Harley sees Booster's the only one left alive. She thinks he did all of it. And the only reason Harley's even like upset or cares is because Poison Ivy is dead, and that's what makes her like care about this. You know, it's like that's the setup right there. Is like it's one of these 2 people, and the Trinity's like investigating, trying to figure out which one it is that did it.
Yeah, and keep in mind, neither Batman or the Flash can even agree on who did it.
Yeah, they go back to Sanctuary and they're like looking in like a field or something about stuff, and they're like, it's pretty obvious who did this.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, Booster.
Harley. Talk about multitasking because Flash is fighting some sort of criminal. I don't
Barry
remember
Allen
who.
Flash. Wally West
Yeah.
Flash and Arsenal are dead, and
He
Iris
dead.
too. But Barry Allen is still alive.
Yes. So he's like fighting some criminals, and then Booster's like doing his little like half-ass confession
Yeah.
or whatever. It's like, hey, some people are dead, and I think I might have done it.
And Wally's dead, and Barry's like, what? And he speeds away.
Yes, and before he can even turn his head back, as he watches him run away, he asks Skeets, like, how long do you think it'll be? He's like, well, he is the world's fastest man, so not very long. Before he can even turn his cheek back, he just gets punched in the mouth.
Yeah, he's already back. Like, what'd you do? I do love that Skeet says that he's the fastest man alive, but in Wally's confessional, he says he's the fastest man alive.
Oh,
So they
yeah,
still have
he
that
did.
competing thing going on. Harley goes to Penguin, and she's like, hey, like, I need to be put up somewhere. And then the Trinity shows up and finds Harley, and she's like, oh, no, you found me. I went.
Meanwhile, she's playing cards with the Penguin.
Yeah, she's playing cards with the Penguin, and they show up, and they're like, she's like, I know it may look crazy, but they're really good at cars. But then, yeah, they find Harley and like, you've been hiding out. And she's like, oh yeah, I've been hiding out. Oh no, you caught me. You found me. I went to the one person in Gotham that can't keep their mouth shut to hide me. So they show up and like they're about to have a confrontation, but she like appeals to Wonder Woman's like compassionate side, and she goes and she hugs Wonder Woman, and Wonder Woman's like attempting to console her. And then Harley takes the whip from her, jumps back, whips Batman around the neck, and like gets behind him. And then she's like trying to tell them like, you know, that she thinks that Booster Gold did it, and she killed Booster Gold because she thinks that she left him for dead in the field whenever she stabbed him, which he should be dead. Skeets just healed him
With a stab,
and brought him
stab
back.
here and a stab, stab there.
Yeah, and I love what you're saying too when they're in the air and she's about to stab him again because he's trying to fly away and she's attached to him, and he's like, if you stab me, we're both gonna fall. And she goes, that's the idea, and stabs him anyway. And then so she's got Batman
with the lasso
of truth. And she goes, now what do you have on you that can help me combat Superman? And Superman's like, nothing. He would never do something like that. And he's like, kryptonite in my belt, left front pocket.
So I believe it was an issue 2 where Lois Lane gets an email from the Puddlers.
Yeah, the Puddlers, whatever. Like they explain what the Puddlers are, and that's like a cool.
It's a dumb word.
It's a unique thing, but it's very lame. The Puddlers. That's who is like releasing information.
Yes. So Lois Lane is ignoring whoever it is that's trying to tell her that he's got some files addressed for her from the Puddlers. And turns out that, yes, the Sanctuary files are being sent to her so that way they can be showed to the world and reveal all the heroes' problems.
And the files are actual video confessionals of the superheroes talking about like what's going on, what's wrong.
Yes, and so she talks to Superman about it while wearing his shirt.
How
She's like,
arrogant!
what do you want me to do?
How arrogant is that she's in their bedroom and she's wearing a Superman T-shirt? It's like, really? We
He's
know
just
who these two
looking
people are.
absolutely chiseled.
Yeah, Superman just laying in bed like, what's up?
So she's confessing to him that she's getting all these videos or like the Sanctuary confessions. And how if she doesn't do a report on it, someone else is going to. And so if she just goes ahead and does it, she'll keep it anonymous.
And she can try to control it and tone it down as much as possible.
Yes. So cut to the Trinity being in the Batcave, trying to still like figure out who the hell is killing everybody. Corn-fed Superman, according to Batman, just confesses that, hey,
So this was being recorded, and Lois is getting the files.
yeah, she's gotten the files. Batman's like, how long have you known this? He's like, it's been a few days.
He's like, a few days.
It's like, you corn-fed. we have people dying, and you want to hide this from us? Why? He's like, well, as a reporter-to-reporter relationship.
It's like, dude, get over that.
I don't know if any of our viewers can like show us like evidence of Superman ever like putting his reporter integrity over the lives of his friends, but Jeff, if you can show us evidence,
Yeah,
that'd be
Jeff,
much
look that up for
appreciated.
us.
When did this report go live? He said 35 seconds ago.
It's like, that's why I'm telling you.
Greatest hero ever, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Soups. Also love Superman's confessional. Is Superman sitting there and like he attempts for a millisecond to talk about like an issue he's having. And he's like, I can't do this. This is wrong. We're heroes. This is not what we're supposed to be. Like people can't see this, and he gets up and walks out because to Superman, he's got to be like the consummate highest moral ground there is. Like people can't see faults in him or see that there's anything wrong with him. He has to be seen as the perfect hero. When I went to that convention last year, the Epic Comic Show, in one of the panels they were talking about Superman, and someone had said when Superman throws a punch, it needs to be written like it's sad. Like Superman has exhausted every other possibility there is, and now he has to stoop down to the level of the villain and physically fight them because he is supposed to be above that. He's better than that, right? And I think this plays really heavily into that. And that's Superman's whole deal throughout this whole thing so far, through the first 4 issues, has just been like people can't know about this. They can't see this. They can't see us like this. If they see that we are broken and hurting, then they're gonna constantly be afraid. Like, oh no, they can't even take care of themselves. How are they gonna like save us and take care of us? Like he's got that consummate high moral ground, right? Which is like a really cool way to write Superman. Like they've written him very interestingly in this series, and that's not something they always get right. Like Superman usually is written very poorly to me.
Yes, he is supposed to be the beacon of light, and he can't even go dim for even a moment.
No, not even a moment. Like that's how he thinks that he needs to be seen by the world, right?
It's true. Like he is. It's not very interesting seeing Superman punch something again, considering that he has no limits.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like,
You gotta
well, he's
appeal
gonna
to his
win this.
humanitarian side.
He's gonna win this fight. Jumping to the 5th issue, this whole issue is about Superman is preparing this speech that he's gonna go and give with Wonder Woman.
Which he's ignoring Lois Lane for. She's like, come to bed, hold me for a moment.
Yeah,
He's
it's
like,
like
I've got stuff to deal with.
Before another world-ending event happens, you have to run off again. He's like, I will in a minute. I'm not finished. I don't think I'm finished yet. But he's trying to write this speech to tell everyone like their side, and essentially he just wants to say, yes, this exists. Yes, some of us have issues.
He's giving a fair explanation.
Yeah, he's like,
why
you know, we have
anybody
problems.
should even really be concerned about the heroes like need therapists. I think that's understandable.
I would be concerned when they didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, so they're just holding this all inside them until they blow up and become villains one day?
Batman already doesn't seem very stable.
Throughout this issue, while he's giving this speech, Booster Gold and Blue Beetle are trying to figure out a way that they can find out who really did this.
And their plan is to attack the Flash again.
Yeah,
Like,
not even
will never
attack,
expect
but
the dumbest plan
yeah,
possible.
like, he's like, we should go
That's
back
actually
to
like that's what they said.
we should go back to like the beginning. Like I should do the first thing I did again. And Blue Beetle's like, that's the dumbest thing you could possibly do.
Also, like their little introduction panel with like Blue Beetle and Booster Gold sitting on the couch. That's a really nice panel because if you look in the background, like you see like the cracks in the walls, the window panels, the beer balls and stuff, it actually spells out Heroes in Crisis.
I didn't even notice that he showed me that. That's really cool.
I'm
they
a
did
genius.
that. I guess this is why this show needed you, huh? Yeah, it says Heroes in Crisis like in the background imagery and stuff.
They
It was
live
really
in
cool.
a very broken down
Yeah,
apartment. You think heroes would be paid at least like
Especially Heroes from the future.
slightly above minimum? Yes.
They live in Beavis and Butthead's apartment.
Yeah, essentially.
They're sitting there watching MTV.
Just getting wasted.
Yeah, when Booster Gold is there with Barry, they're watching like Wally's confessional videos or whatever.
At least his murder file.
Yeah, at least his murder files, and he's remembering that there's the time police, like the time travel police.
Which I'm pretty sure like Reverse Flash has never interacted with.
Yeah, that never had happened to him before. But it's like Booster Gold's saying there's like time police that exist to make sure people don't like cheat and like change things, like going back in time or whatever. And he's saying that the way that they make sure people are who they're supposed to be is like something with with an RNA file or whatever, and they cross-reference it with their birthday. And Wally's birthday was 5 days off, so he was not Wally.
Another crazy twist, which should have known it wouldn't be Harley or Booster Gold. They would never narrow it down that far, like that early.
No, yeah, it's not going to be either one of them. So we know something is very weird about that person. He's not who he says he is. So are these other people not who they say they were? Like, is this their way to get out of all these people being dead? Like, what's really going on here? We don't know. Obviously, we still have 4 issues left. But while they're doing that, Harley and Batgirl are on the way to Boosters.
Yeah, apparently Harley does not understand that
She doesn't understand what
maim
Yeah.
and destroy and whatever. She doesn't understand the synonyms that go with murder.
Yeah, when they're on the way there, Batgirl's like, remember, you promised. She goes, I know, I won't kill anybody. I'll just murder him. She goes, that's the same thing. She goes, are you sure about that? This superhero thing is hard.
Yeah, weren't they on their way to go fight Booster?
They're on their
They
way
got
to
their
Booster.
location from
From Skeets.
from Skeets.
Batgirl and Batman have a conversation, and I love in the conversation, Batgirl says like 4 different times back at my place. She's like, so I developed this technology that'll let me like look inside Skeets to see if he really knows where Booster Gold is. It's back at my place though, so if I can go back at my place and take Skeets with me back to my place, I can figure this out. She like keeps heavily saying back at my place.
Yeah, I kept
'cause
wondering. I was like, how can Batgirl achieve something that Batman
she doesn't want
can't?
Batman coming with her because she's with Harley. And like Batman is pretty much convinced that Harley's one that did all of this. Batgirl just keeps saying like back at my place. So then Batman's like, all right, fine. She goes, oh, okay. So he goes away and she takes Skeets, and Skeets is like, so we're going back to your place? And they're in like a playground or
Yeah.
whatever. And he's like, is this your place? She goes, I use it sometimes. It's quiet. No one's ever around. He goes, oh, and he's like, well, where's this technology? She's like, I'm the technology.
There's Harley Quinn singing as she
Yeah.
swings her big old hammer at
Well,
Skeets.
she's like, she tells Skeets, Batgirl does, she's like, I know that you think that, like, you know, that you did the right thing and you really don't know where Booster Gold is and you can't tell him that. And you think because Batman is so good that you can't lie to him.
There's no risk.
Maybe I'm good. I don't know. But I know she's not concerned with that. And then it's Harley, and she's doing another nursery rhyme about Skeets now, how she wants to beat Skeets up, which I wanted to mention that too. So I like how the whole time through Harley's doing these nursery rhymes when she's attacking people and trying to beat them up. It happens through all these issues. And that is, when it first starts too, Harley's in her normal, like, current Harley gear. And then not long after that, she's back wearing the Jester
Old
outfit,
leotard.
like the old, like, yeah, Jester leotard. So Harley, in the wake of like this immense tragedy now that's happened with her losing Poison Ivy, which is the whole catalyst for why she cares about what's going on, has reverted. It seems to me like she's reverting back to her old ways, kind of. She's doing the nursery rhymes now, which she doesn't do anymore. She's wearing her old gear, and she's just trying to kill everybody, which is not who Harley is now. So she's like reverted back in the wake of like severe trauma, it seems like.
Yeah, well, she definitely has trauma because that's revealed in her first
confessional.
Yeah, the first confessional in this series was Harley Quinn, and this last confessional in issue 5 was
With
also
Harley
Harley
Quinn.
Quinn.
Yeah, and in the first one, she's talking about how like maybe she never should have cared about anybody, maybe she never should have gotten close to anybody, maybe
Yeah,
she never
she's
should have
listened
loved
to
anyone.
A lot of people beg for like their loved ones and stuff. And she said that instead of listening, she should have just been swinging that sledgehammer.
Yeah, she was like, maybe I should never
By
just
the
listen
end
to
of
him.
that panel,
Should have
like
killed
the
him.
last panel, she's just crying.
Yeah, it's like
And-
so you can see that Harley's got some deep emotional scars with that stuff going
I
on.
wonder why. It couldn't possibly be because of Mr. J.
No, definitely couldn't have been. So that they're on the way to find Booster, and they show up to where Booster is. But right before that, we're still getting the whole thing throughout this series of Superman doing his speech, and it's showing like a different panels, all these different like heroes and characters like getting ready to go like
It's used pretty effectively. In
to
my
do the good fight. And you see the rose that Harley threw earlier on in the series in the water, and like a shadow of someone coming over, and then someone it's like a man's shadow, it looks like, and then like picking it up, and you don't know who it is. Like there's no definable anything. It's just a shadow.
Sanctuary.
Yeah, it's just a shadow. Yeah, it's Sanctuary. It's just a shadow. And right after that, like the next panel is Harley and Batgirl showing up, and Harley's like, "We're here to massacre you," and Batgirl's like, "We're not massacring anybody.
That's still murder.
Yeah, we're not doing
What
that."
isn't murder?
She's like, "You're no fun at all." And then right after that is the last panels of this issue is another Harley confessional, and it's Harley telling a joke. She was like, Mr. J used to say, used to ask me, why did the chicken cross the road? And I would tell him, duh, to get to the other side. And he was like, no, to get to the moron's house. And then it's like a panel or two of her just sitting there looking at the camera. And then he says, knock, knock. And I said, who's there? And he says, the chicken. And then he hit me.
He hit me real good.
Yeah, he hit me real good. And I was like, oh, man, that is rough. And then that's the end of like the 5th issue. So we know that Wally was not who he's supposed to be. It wasn't Wally. The body is 5 days too old. Someone just picked up the rose that Harley threw.
Introduced.
So it's not Booster. It's not Harley. But now Booster, Harley.
They're probably going to team up to find out who's doing this and framing them.
I'm assuming it's going to be Booster, Harley, Batgirl, and Barry are going to be teamed up now, maybe with Blue Beetle to try to figure out what's going on, because they're all left together where we end. Ends with those 5 there in one area. And also earlier, whenever Batgirl's like, hey, she's talking to Batman, she was like, they're doing Superman's giving a speech today. Aren't you like an essential part of the Trinity? And he's like, I'm Batman. I don't do press. Still brooding bats.
He does enough press when he's Bruce Wayne.
Omega Level is proudly sponsored by Ink or Dye Studios, a unique combination of a tattoo parlor and hair salon. Located at 270 North Dakota Street by Flanagan's, Ink or Dye Studios employs the best artists and stylists around. Boasting a friendly atmosphere, helpful, talented, and incredibly creative staff, Ink or Dye Studios is the only tattoo shop and hair salon you'll ever need. Stop in, call, or contact them through their social media accounts today to set up an appointment. So moving on from Heroes in Crisis, we are still doing our march towards Endgame, and this week it was Doctor Strange. This is actually only my second time watching Doctor Strange. I only saw it in theaters. So it was good to like have that refresher, and I liked it way more than the first time. Like I liked it. I thought it was good, but man, I loved it this time. Like it's definitely one of my top 10 Marvel, maybe top 5. Like it was incredible.
It's definitely my top 5. Upon a rewatch, it's probably my top 3.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's awesome you like it that much. Dude, the special effects of this movie are incredible, dude. They're like nearly revolutionary.
I've seen better.
I've seen better. It was really cool how they do all like when they go into like the other dimensions or whatever, how like the buildings turn and like fall over themselves and stuff like that. I was like, man, that is so
Yeah, I don't know
cool.
how they built these buildings. Like their budget must have been astronomical.
It's insane to have to build all this stuff. That was really freaking cool, man. And I love how they animated Dormammu at the end of it too. He looked really cool.
I mostly just like how this was the MCU's and the audience's introduction to the more like cosmic,
like the
aspect
super
of
cosmic
Marvel.
elements, right? Yeah, because
Yes.
like Guardians
Like
already come out,
introducing a
but
multiverse, saying like that's how their magic works, is drawing power from other dimensions.
I love how Doctor Strange picks up the time stone at one point when he puts it on. He just puts it on, like, all right, I'm gonna start using this thing, and it just immediately like accepts him, like he can wield this.
And
That's how
just
strong
almost
he is.
destroys reality.
Yeah, without even knowing what
Just
he's
by
doing.
reading the instructions, the warnings should really come after the spells.
Yeah, I love how that's kind of like a running gag, and I thought the warnings always come after the spells.
Also, just this movie immediately opens up with a decapitation.
Yeah, that's insane. Like, hey, well, okay, we're in this movie now.
Two of the most brutal deaths for all of Marvel, especially
for
with
sure.
the ancient one. That was also one of the most like emotional and effectively delivered death scenes in all of the MCU.
I think it may have been the most emotional up to this point right now until Cap dies in the next one. But yeah, dude.
Wow, spoilers. I don't know where he get the script, but okay.
When she's in like the other dimension and she's fighting Caecilius and all them, and they get the upper hand on her finally, and Caecilius kills her, and she's like falling through like the portals and then hits the ground on the pavement. That looks brutal.
So bringing up Caecilius, what did you think of him?
Caecilius?
Yeah.
I mean, they kind of fell into the typical Marvel thing where the villain wasn't extremely well developed in this movie. Even though I thought he was pretty decently well developed. I think Mads Mikkelsen did a really good performance.
Well, the beginning of this movie also like had a very quick pace.
Yeah, oh yeah, very quick pace.
Seeing his downfall within 10 minutes, but The only reason I didn't even really feel rushed was because of Benny Cumby's performance.
Dude, Benedict Cumberbatch is amazing as
Benny
Doctor
Cumby.
Strange. Yeah, Benny Cumby. When they cast him, I immediately was like, oh, that's perfect. He is Stephen Strange. That's the perfect person for that role.
Yeah, I like how he shaved his iconic facial hair with a razor wire, or an electric razor.
Yeah, I was
Sorry.
like, yeah.
He is a genius in almost the mystic forms now. He's still learning, obviously, because he only uses really like 3 spells when he's fighting like
Yeah.
some expert zealots.
He stops the end of the world with 3 spells.
Yeah, I also like that when he's using those little disc spells and that one like flickers out.
Uh-oh.
But not just that he's learning the mystic arts, but obviously that he's already a genius at medical stuff, and it combines that with like the astral fight because
Yeah, when he's in his...
getting like his chest shocked, he tells her to crank it up all the way to like lethal.
Yeah, he's like lethal.
basically, and he's just holding that dude's like spirit and just evaporates it as he gets his like
As he gets
heart, like zapped,
yeah.
like EMP.
EKG'd. But yeah, as he gets zapped back to life, he's holding on to that other guy when they have an astral fight, and it shocks him so much that it goes to his astral form to his body and kills him.
I also like how that somehow gets to Strange, even though he's turned away so many patients just so he can maintain his reputation. Like,
That's what breaks
he's
Strange down.
indirectly killed plenty of other people.
Yeah, but the fact that he actually killed this one bad guy, he's like, oh, I can't do this. I
I'm a
killed
doctor,
somebody.
I took an oath. I'm supposed to save lives, but I just choose which ones to save.
Yeah,
That's basically the message. This movie is don't drive and look for potential patients.
yeah, you can't do that. Did that crash scene? You said this before, like.
It was kind of original in my opinion, just because usually you just see like cars flip a bunch and then slide. But like I liked actually seeing his car like hit the fence and stuff. And
Hit
you
the fence
actually
and
see
fly
his,
down
like,
the side.
You actually see it cave in on his hands.
Yeah. So the whole setup for Doctor Strange to begin with, period, even from the comics, is really lame. He's this world-renowned
It is
doctor
goofy.
whose hands get messed up and he gets nerve damage and can't be a doctor anymore, and he goes to try to get it fixed. It's like, this could be really hokey, which I think is also why they move so quickly in the beginning. They're like, we just need to brush past this because it could be really lame, so we do it quickly so it doesn't come off that way.
Yeah, why always just paralyze his hands? Like, you could have still had him not be able to be a doctor once you like mess up his spine. Or
Yeah, like
something.
they could have done a bunch to him, but no, yeah. So it's his hands, which is also why he always wears gloves because they're all scarred.
Which, as someone that usually like tends to like watch a lot of gory stuff, like seeing his hands with those rods in them still like makes me cringe so hard.
Yeah, it was disgusting, dude. It was
Yes.
like, oh man, that's awful. Couldn't imagine that. Ugh.
Yeah, also like him like using his little like rehabilitation, like, stretching his hands out. Like, God, I could like almost feel the pain from that.
Yeah, dude, it was awful. So yeah, that was Doctor Strange is really, really good. I was very, very happy with how I felt about it after watching it for the second time. Like, I really thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm super excited for the sequel now and for him to be in the next phase. And I'm not like a really big Doctor Strange fan, but from this movie, like for the MCU, I'm all about him now for the MCU.
Yeah, hopefully at some point we can start reading some Doctor Strange comics because like this movie got me really interested in his character.
Same, dude. I would like to read some actually. We should look up a series and try to find one.
I believe Donnie Cates did some.
He did a run on one of them a couple years ago.
All right, tune in next week when we review Donnie Cates.
Yeah, so I think that's good right there. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up.
But before you do that, we have a giveaway.
Oh, yes, we do. $100 gift certificate from Lalo Jones, him specifically at Ink or Die Studios.
Thanks for interrupting me.
You're welcome.
All you got to do to enter for a chance to win is subscribe to our YouTube channel, leave a comment telling us what your favorite MCU movie is.
On this video.
Yep. And then tune in next Tuesday for that comic talk where we announce the winner.
Yep, 100%. That's all you got to do. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell.
Or at least consider it.
At least just think about the possibility of doing that.
Like, write a comment, then delete it because you second-guess yourself.
Like you do with like 20 million selfies, do like 20 million comments. Like, oh, no, that one wasn't good. Oh, no, that one wasn't good. Let us know down below what you thought of the episode. What do you think of the Heroes in Crisis series? Stop interrupting me. Do you read it? Are you liking it? Are you enjoying it? Does this make you want to check it out?
Should I get rid of Nick?
Yeah, should we get?
Should it just be me?
Should we get rid of me next week? Yeah, whatever.
He's going down.
What do you think of Doctor Strange? And make sure you let us know in the comments below what your favorite MCU movie is so you can enter that giveaway and make sure you're a subscriber.
Bye.